We said that?
We're Facebook Live.
Okay.
You'll see why more than 400,000 people are already members. MediShare is a Christian community that's shared more than $4 billion in each other's healthcare costs. It really is remarkable, and they're very easy to talk to. And here's the thing. If you join before the end of the year, they'll waive your new member fee. That's another $170 you'll save. I'll give you the number here in a second. The call, and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is December 31st, so call now. You'll save even.
Hey, Paula called. When do you want her on?
Hey,
Bible.
James,
That's 877-64-BIBLE. 877-64-BIBLE.
Electric car maker Tesla is planning to recall as many as 500,000 of its vehicles in the United States. Tesla officials need to fix issues in the rear-view cameras as well as hood latches that can fail. Air travel for tomorrow's New Year's Eve celebrations is looking increasingly iffy. Flight cancellations continue piling up across the nation. Flight crews are calling in sick, and new winter storms are threatening to further snarl airline schedules. On Wall Street, stocks closed lower today. The Dow Industrials lost 90 points. France has found a new way to annoy its citizens.
Okay, I was just asking her because she's just wanting to know when she needs to get off speakerphone, so I just need to know what to tell her.
Sales down due to COVID. Theater owners say it will be a real blow to their efforts to eliminate popcorn. Please join Lou 3 times each weekday for
how you doing, man? Sorry about that. I was just setting up
financial
some stuff here.
Portions of the following program pre-recorded.
Paula says she's gonna wait.
Sponsored by James.
Yeah, she's asking when to go off speakerphone, and I don't know what to tell her.
Circles and cycles, phases and stages. These are your experiences that teach you the lessons of.
I don't have time to tell her because we're starting the show.
Or embrace them. Welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. James is a motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the James Cooley Foundation. James is here to equip you to strive for greatness and to overcome adversity. It's time to get equipped today for the challenges of tomorrow. Now here's the host of It's Your Life, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, 2021 came and it's almost ready to leave us, which is, I'm a sadist, but I'm looking forward to a new year because all the challenges that we have had in 2021. And the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, tonight, I want to do a recap. A lot of the things that happened during our show. And I tell you, I mean, it's a lot of them is so absolutely fantastic. And the reason why we're still here today and able to celebrate the end of 2021 and also have open arms for 2022. Noah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I'm going to keep it short. 2021 can leave very, very quickly. I have no desire to talk about it any longer than we have to, and exciting opportunities for the new year. And, it's interesting to see where things will head, that's for sure.
Yeah, but we had such wonderful guests that was on the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, doing 2021, and Michelle Cooley, you know about that because you and I have sit back and discuss a lot of these things. So what are your thoughts?
Yes, we only have a little less than an hour show, but all the guests we had on 2021, we can't talk about all of them, but we just are going to discuss a couple who have really impacted our knowledge, educated us, inspired us, and hopefully the listening audience as well. And that's what the show is about, recapping a couple of our featured guests this year and talk about, our thoughts on their specific topics. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what we've accomplished in 2021.
I'm excited about that as well because this is the 232nd show, which is amazing because it's only 365 days a year. And this is just doing 2021 beginning of January, and I tell you, I have had an opportunity to learn so much from all of these absolutely fantastic guests. And just like you said, Michelle, a lot of them do stand out, and a lot of them you and I identified as just stood out and made 2021 so inspiring. And we're going to talk to a few of those. We're going to talk about them. If they call in, that's fine as well. But one of the things I want to say is my great producer, Noah Dingley, I believe taught us so much about radio, especially live radio, during 2021. And my earlier producer, Todd Pyrick, taught us a whole lot about radio as well and how the game is. And I want to thank great general manager, Steve. Steve, man, I don't know what to say. It's just that you gave me an opportunity, and I hope I did not disappoint you at all. Susie Lopez, absolutely wonderful, and the great operational managers that we have had, Randy, and we got Kevin right now, and I tell you, one of the most important guys that's in Salem Media, and that and I'm just gonna call his first name Donnell. Regardless of where we was at in 2021 and where we was doing the show, especially with the Conrex, you guys were so supported in making sure that we stayed on the air, make sure that we delivered a absolutely fantastic show. And I just want everybody to know 2021, we are so thankful and happy.
Exactly. We definitely are, and we can't wait to start the show tonight.
And I tell you, it's a few other guests that we identified. One of the guests that we're going to start off with shortly before we get off into the show is Paula Shaw. Wow. Paula, without you, there's no me. And I know that's a song out there that came out, but without you giving me an opportunity to be on your show, we are 2 years running now. There would not be a James Cooley show, so that's so important, and then you're so important to me. We got Jordan Colbert. I call him the young professor. We got a lot of others that we're not going to get off into right now, but as we move through the show, we're going to talk about all of these great guests. Yeah, so Michelle Cooley, which is my absolutely fantastic co-host. First of all, Michelle, can you tell our listening audience what the title of the show is and what the purpose of the show is?
Yes, the title of the show is The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, New Year's Recap on 2021 shows. And the purpose is the James Cooley, It's Your Life team recaps the guests that have appeared on the show in 2021 and discuss how these guests and the specific topics they have spoken about have educated and inspired us as well as our listeners.
And before we even start this, I just want to say that Sarah Estrada, hey, Sarah, I know you're listening. I know you're locked in. Without you, it would be impossible. Also, Chuck Tranoni, a Missy brother, Joseph, Dr. Joseph Strom. And I tell you, we want to get this thing started. If you want to be part of this conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. But, Michelle, what I want to do is I want to start the show off with Paula Shaw, because Paula gave us this opportunity, and it's just absolutely so wonderful. So, Paula, thank you. Thank you, and this has been such a wonderful 2021. I think that you're on the line right now. How you doing, Paula?
I'm doing great, James, and I am delighted that you invited me to join you in this recap show because we had some fun in 2021, even though the world was a little bit crazy, but I think we hung in there and we brought people some great information.
I believe we brought them extremely outstanding information because you being a life transition coach, you being a grief specialist, you having your own shows, Change It Up Radio, and your author and keynote speaker. I just want to get all these things in because before the break, because we also going to be chatting with you at the beginning of the second segment as well. So how are you doing today, Paula?
Well, today I'm doing great. I have to say I've had a few health challenges in the last couple of months, but today I think I crossed the Rubicon, JC. I'm feeling so much more like myself, and my energy's coming back. And just to briefly tell you what I'm talking about, I ended up having had 22 radiation treatments on my nose for a basal cell, and then December 9th, I thought I had some bad indigestion. I went to urgent care, and the next thing I knew, I was on my way to surgery for an emergency appendectomy. So life's unpredictable, isn't it? You know?
Life
But I heard somebody say yesterday, somebody said yesterday, when life gives you lemons, you can either make lemonade or you can squirt yourself in the eye with it, and that's not so fun. So I think we've worked on making lemonade and trying to teach people ways to do that.
Wow. You know what, Paula? We're going to take a station break, but I want you to stick around because when we come back, we're going to really delve off into the absolute fabulous Paula Shaw. And just what you just said, life is sometimes a challenge. But if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. I'm James Cole. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was started in October of 2014. The J.C. Cooley Foundation continues to strive to expand its programs and offerings to the youth, young adults, and citizens of our great communities nationwide and overseas. We hope that you'll be able to take part in one or more of the many exciting events that we are offering this year and experience firsthand the pride we take in supporting our cause. It's our mission to equip the youth of today for the challenges of tomorrow, and we rely heavily on the generosity of individuals and business owners for support. Without the assistance of community-minded individuals just like you, we wouldn't be able to serve our youth each year. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. This year's goal is $50,000. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. Remember that every donation makes a difference regardless of size. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, the true life coming of age story by James J.C. Cooley. Using humor, wit, and engaging storytelling, James paints a picture about his arrival in a rural deep south town and realization that life would never be the same. Cooley lays out his struggle to adjust from city life to country life and back again, sharing his hard-earned lessons to educate, encourage, and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes. Get your copy of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James J.C. Cooley, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
Imagine doing one thing that gave you an entirely different perspective about your place in the world. I'm Dinesh D'Souza, inviting you to join me for a 10-day Stand with Israel tour in November of 2022. You'll gain first-hand insight into Israel's fascinating past and promising future. Walk the ancient temple steps and touch the Western Wall. Sail on the Sea of Galilee. Book this tour today. Call 855-5.
Isaac's on the line.
Oh, okay. No, I'll let James know.
Tour.
Isaac Ford's on the phone.
Cultural Marxism is spreading like wildfire in America. But did you know that this so-called woke ideology is also flooding into the church?
Reparations fits into the scope of the gospel.
Watch the documentary How the Left is Stealing Your Church and discover how the ideology behind critical race theory and the LGBT agenda is being smuggled into the evangelical world. Stream it now for $9.99 or get the DVD for $12.99. Go to salemnow.com or look for the Salem Now app.
The Answer San Diego, streaming now on iHeart.com and Odyssey.com.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and we're doing the end of the year, the James Cooley Show. And I tell you, it was so many of our guests were so inspiring and so inspirational that I tell you, that helped carry us through the end of 2021. I'm talking about beginning with January, all the way to where we at today, getting ready to start the new year, 2022. And one of the most absolutely fantastic guests that I had on the show was a person, just like I mentioned to you, that gave me an opportunity to be on her show, to get an opportunity to have my own show. So Paula Shaw, and you know, Paula, just like I said, she's a grief specialist and a transitional coach, and she's my friend for the last, I say, 7+ years. And I'm just so proud of the things that you're doing, Paula, and the opportunity that you gave me. And I know that you just mentioned to me about life, and you and I talked about that today. Eleanor MacArthur, who's the counselor and the author of that. Paula, can you tell our listening audience a little bit about what I am saying? Because this happened to all of us.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about what we were just saying, that we can't control what life gives us, but we can control how we respond to it.
Absolutely.
Kind of the basis of it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's the only place we actually have any real control. And yet that's the most powerful place. You know, during the break, I was sitting here thinking about what I had just said, when life gives you lemons, you know. And one of the things I was thinking is kind of a cool saying. I just thought this up. When life gives you lemons, set up a lemonade stand. Make something good out of those lemons. Do something productive. And who knows, maybe even get ahead financially. So there's so much we can do that's positive, even when tough stuff comes along. And that's really what a lot of my work is about, because as you shared, I help people who are dealing with change. And change always brings a level of upheaval with it. You know, sometimes it's huge upheaval, if it's like a death or a divorce or losing your job or your home. That's big time upheaval. But any kind of change, moving, even though you choose to do it, even though you go somewhere better, it still creates the discomfort of the unfamiliar. And that's what we've talked about on this show before. Humans don't like the discomfort of the unfamiliar. Even if the familiar sucks, you know, even if it's kind of awful, if it's a job they hate or a relationship that's dead, there's still a level of safety in feeling like you know what's coming.
And you know what, Paula? And what you do, and what I know of you, and has experienced a lot of things that you do, can you tell our listeners real quickly, we got 1 minute, to experience things that you talk to others about, and not just the sense of reality, but experiencing that and say, okay, that's why I do what I do, because it's all about turning those lemons into lemon stands and lemonade and bringing joy. 1 minute less.
Yes.
Can you explain that to our listeners?
You know, I think, yes, I do want to say that it's all about our perspective, right? That's more important than the details of what happens to us. And James, I feel like one of the most valuable things I could share here at the end of the year is what I just shared on my podcast this week. And that is something called conscious completion. And what I mean by that is we don't get to dictate what happens to us in life, but we do get to choose how we respond to it, and we can make a conscious choice to accept that everything happened the only way it could, that everyone was doing the best they could for who they were and what they knew, and so we can forgive everything and call it complete and good enough.
Wow.
And I highly recommend to our listeners that at the end of this year, you look back on anything that's still bugging you and apply those principles. Everything happened the only way it could. Everyone was doing the best they could for who they were and what they know. And so we can forgive everything, including ourselves, and call it complete. And that leaves us clean and open to what comes in next.
Wow.
And without that, we're stuck in the past and we're not open to the future.
We have to be open to
let's all do conscious completion.
We have to be open to the future, because that's what's coming. And as long as we continue to strive, and as long as we continue to do the best that we can do and be, we just have to be prepared. And Paula, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to having you on the show real soon. So thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I want to introduce you to
My pleasure. And you know, I love you and Michelle, and I wish you the happiest of New Year's.
You know we love
and
you,
that
Paula.
awesome producer, Noah, too.
Oh, Noah is,
All right, I'll
absolutely
see you guys
fantastic.
Next week. Thank you for having me on your special show, JC.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to introduce our listener to a very good friend of mine. And I tell you, I had an opportunity to meet this young man about a little bit more than a year and a half ago. His name is Isaac Ford. And Isaac Ford came in my life, and kind of changed it, because he's an independent thinker. He's a guy that been through trials and tribulations, worked his way out, and was able to, whatever the situation or circumstances is, bounce back. And this guy is one of my heroes. He is an MSW, meaning that he worked with students, he worked with kids, he worked with families, he worked with married folks, he worked with everything, and he's out of USC, MSW out of USC. He's a motivational speaker, inspirational speaker, author, CEO of the Isaac Ford and Associates LLC, and he wrote this absolutely fantastic book called Bottoms, Up from the Bottoms. And I tell you, just want to bring this guy on, because I had him on the show at least 3 times during 2021, and I love this guy. Isaac, I don't know if you're there or not, but how you doing, my friend?
Well, hello, James, and congratulations to you, Michelle, and to your dynamic team, Noah, in the background, for successfully for 237 successful shows in 2021. And so definitely I count you and all 3 of you as 3 of my dearest friends, and so happy for you and proud of you for everything you've done for the show, and to thank you for providing a platform for so many people over the last year. And so continued blessings to you, Michelle, and to Noah as you take the show and your work as author, speaker, influencer to the next level in 2022.
Wow. Thank you so much, Isaac. Isaac, one of the topics you discussed when you were a guest on our show is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Can you just remind us and our listeners what diversity, equity, and inclusion is and what it is not?
Well, diversity is actually being invited to the party. Inclusion is actually being asked to dance. And so with anything that we do going forward, any company, corporation of good conscience recognizes the importance of the tenets of diversity, equity, inclusion. Because at the end of the day, for people in an organization to have a good job, have good pay, in the past, it was enough to say, hey, you got a good job, you can pay your bills. And so they were satisfied. But as we evolve, we learn that when people feel respected, when they feel psychologically safe, when they feel like they're affirmed and there's a place for them, then they ideally what we want is to feel something that's beyond satisfied, and that is and take ownership of where they work and feel good about coming to work. And a lot of that has to do with a lot of things that we do in terms of diversity, equity, inclusion consulting. And sometimes we do that in a Zoom format for an hour sometimes. And ideally we do it in breakouts where we have some conversations, discussions, sometimes a little uncomfortable for people, but it helps people to get past a lot of things that may have seemed like they were difficult. But a lot of work to be done in our nation as we try to heal and move forward, because there's a lot of talent, a lot of different demographics, and any organization is better as a result of being more diverse and more inclusive.
Wow. Isaac, we got to take a station break. I don't want you to go anywhere because I want to come back and discuss a couple more minutes of diversity, equity, and inclusion and how that works for everyone if everybody believe in that, because I believe that we so much need that in our great country in 2021 and moving forward to 2022. So I tell you, listen, audience, if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. It's your life. I'm James Cooley. We'll be back shortly after the break.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's Your Life with James Cooley.
There is much truth in the journey that ain't over yet, as all of us journey through life's precious gift of time, just like I have. Hi, I'm James Cooley, host of the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, and in the new audio version of my book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet. You can join me as I share my true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. This is a must listen to for anyone who thinks they're stuck in life or need to understand that their current I don't know if you not their final destination. Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet. As an unfiltered truth to provide hope for the future by challenging you to refuse to become a victim of life's circumstance and dare to be an overcomer, because a bigger, better, and more impactful life awaits you. Get the new audio version of my book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet on Amazon and wherever audio books are sold.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation
sounds good.
To expand its programs and offerings to the youth, young adults, and citizens of our great communities nationwide and overseas. It's our mission to equip the youth of today for the challenges of tomorrow. We ask that you make a commitment to support our annual appeal by making a cash donation. Your generosity will assist us in making a difference in the lives of the youth in our community. You can give online at CooleyFoundation.org. The J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
A place for everything and everything in its place. With the holidays coming to an end and family heading home, 2022 is just ahead. It's time to clean it all up and take on the new year. At Dixieline, home storage solutions from Rubbermaid, High Loft, Suncast, Garage Tech, and Dateline products are on sale.
14 and 18-gallon Rubbermaid nestable storage totes with lids on sale. And ceiling storage units from High Loft. Stow stuff up and out of the way in your garage. And they're on sale too at Dixieline.
Dateline's 5-shelf adjustable steel storage rack, just $80. And save $25 on the 3-shelf heavy-duty storage rack.
Dixieline can help organize your outdoor space with vertical and horizontal storage sheds from Suncast. Save $50 to over $100.
To our friends, contractors, and do-it-yourselfers, we're sending a big old Dixieline thank you and wishes for a happy new year.
Fix it, build it, and enjoy it.
It's going good. Just need another hour, man.
We only got an hour.
1170 San Diego. The Answer.
I like the idea, though. It's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you what we're trying to do is we're trying to pack in 232 shows into 1 hour. And I tell you, we had some absolutely fantastic guests, fantastic shows, and we're going to do the same thing in 2022. And we're recapping, and I identified a few of the guests that I thought was so extraordinary and outstanding. And we're going to talk to a few of them tonight, but if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. We got my great friend, Isaac Ford, on. And we were talking about diversity, equity, inclusion. And I tell you, this guy's going to be on the show again real soon. And you're going to hear his story and a lot of great things he's doing. Isaac, I would love for you to take another minute and a half to talk about why it's so important that we all have to be averse and we all have to understand why diversity, equity, and inclusion is so important to the healing of our country.
Again, because we are a very diverse society, and because of that diversity, there's richness there. And studies have shown that companies that are more diverse and that tap into the richness of that diverse workforce and that have a culture, an organizational culture that is inclusive and equitable, they have a lower turnover rate. They have higher productivity. The employees, in terms of retention, is something that those companies have. And then companies as a whole are more successful because in that environment where there's a company, corporation works toward developing an inclusive culture, then everybody feels like there's a direct line from where I'm at to the CEO and the CFO of James Cooley Incorporated. And there's a path in terms of mentorship, and that when a woman says something, it's not ignored, and then 10 minutes later, a man says the same thing, and that's a great idea, James. When Michelle just said it, when people are more conscious of these things, when companies, corporations, managers, all the way to C-suite are conscious of these things, the company as a whole benefits, and people tend to want to work there, and they tend to want to work harder. And so at the end of the day, that's been proven. And any organization, be it a governmental agency, now with this administration is being more embraced, where it wasn't before, And that's something I feel good about. And I think that going forward with some of the challenges we see playing out, incorporating diversity, equity, inclusion, training, and it's not like a one-off type thing. Just like you do sexual harassment training, just like you do in the military to do training on DUIs. We have to keep building on that. We have to do annual training and do touch-ups to make sure that we continue to work toward being better at it.
Wow.
And ultimately that helps us organizationally and then as a country to move in the right direction. Love what you just said. And most importantly, it works more than just in organizations. Work as a country, work in togetherness as a whole. And I, for the love you, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on this great show tonight. Looking forward to having you on the show real soon, my friend. Real soon. Well, love you. Continued blessings to you and to Michelle and to Noah, your family, and all of your guests through 2022 and beyond. Man, it's going to be fantastic. I got to bring my great producer, Noah Dingley, in because, wow, this guy has been so fantastic in producing all of these great shows. And I know he might disagree with me on some of the ones that I picked because this guy put his heart and soul in a lot of shows, so we could have picked at least 200, but we only tried to identify 6. Noah, can you tell our listening audience that you've been doing this ever since day one, since we started this? What are some of the most important shows that we have done and why?
Well, I'm going to give you kind of, JC, like the top 5, not necessarily in any particular order, that have stood out to me. And again, we have so many guests, we can't highlight them all, but these are the ones that stand out in my mind. First off, you just had the man on right there, Isaac Ford, one of my favorite people. And as he said, and I continue that sentiment back at him, that I'm pleased at this point to call him friend, as an aspiring author, besides being in media and journalism forever and a day. He's really taught me what it takes to pursue being one myself, and so being an author is nothing that should be taken lightly. It's a lot of hard work, and you got to be consistent. You got to be dedicated. And he's actually been a mentor of mine in trying to get my memoir out, JC, which is something I've had in the back of my head for quite some time. So I love any time I get a chance to talk to Isaac. And that's one of them. The other, another one would be Kip Harris, and I know he's listening out there. Had him on my show numerous times this year and last year. He's author of Improbable Joy, and he's been through a lot. He has been through cancer 3 times. I've been through it once myself. It's no walk in the park. It's something that you are grateful for, and it changes your attitude when you get through it to the other side. So to hear his perspective on life when he's beat it 3 times, it inspires me constantly. And I know I inspire him because I'm constantly pushing him to be better also in some of his commitments in life as well. And so that I can call both of those people friend at the end of the day is an amazing thing. Third would be someone that you introduced me to, actually the next 2. Roger Tinsley, a.k.a. Danger Man, because he also furthers one of my favorite causes, which is standing up for the kids. And he stands up for kids across America that maybe have not the best upbringing. Maybe they're in a hard situation, and he tries to keep them safe. And he also goes to a lot of these schools, and he preaches safety and non-violence, non-gun violence, and he's always looking out for the children. And so, Roger, if you're listening out there, man, you keep doing what you're doing, because the Danger Man nonprofit, the Danger Man brand, is something that I tremendously respect, JC. So again, I thank you for making that introduction. Fourth on the list would be Chief Ralph Godby Jr. Nobody in my mind, and the guests that I've talked to on your show, JC, on mine, there's something about this man, the way he speaks, with the clarity and the wisdom. He's not partisan on one side or the other. He just says it like it is. And if more of us thought like Chief Ralph Godby Jr., it would be a much better place. It would be a much better world. And that's why I've had him on my show after being introduced on your show to him. And then I have to throw in, of course, in that list, my girlfriend Cammie, who you've had on the show, and you've had her on as an educator and a teacher. And she also has a very big passion for kids. And so to hear her talk about why she loves teaching and why she loves shaping young minds, yeah, I mean, you got to honor that and you got to respect that.
Wow, man, that list.
And I'm out of breath.
but the list that you just called out is an all-star NBA starting five. Out of all the guests, how many? We had about 200 and something guests.
Okay, and okay, you said NBA, so now we got to make it top 6. Melvin Adams, dude, I love you.
And Melvin probably listening as well. I tell you, this is such a fantastic tribute to all of these great folks. And I know that you don't have it locked in right now, but going to the break, if you got it on the board, let's go to that Danger Man, because Danger Man's song taking us to the break, because he is doing so many great things out there. To help.
He's got a huge heart, JC.
A huge heart, but all of the folks that you just named got an enormous heart. And if you can put that up there real quickly, we'll take it to the break. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about a lot of other absolutely fantastic folks. Danger Man, let's hear him.
Danger Man. You know who he is, you know who he be. You know who he is, you know who we be. You know who he is, you know who we be. You know who he is, you know who we be.
People always asking me who I am. I'm Danger Man, the Black Superman.
He's Danger Man, the Black Superman. He's Danger Man, the Black Superman.
There's more stories of greatness to help you overcome adversity. Coming up on It's...
Nice call, my friend.
Oh,
James
man, that's
Cooley.
great, man.
The J.C. Cooley Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was started in October of 2014.
We'll have... Let's see, 11 minutes.
Okay, so
and citizens of our great communities nationwide
we're going to try to get through as many of these.
We hope that you'll be able to take part in one or more of the many exciting events that we're offering this year. Experience firsthand.
Sounds good.
In supporting our cause.
Thank you so much,
it's our mission to equip the youth of today.
Oh, I have his theme on a button, man. It's at the ready at all times.
and
for support. Without the assistance of community-minded individuals just like you, we wouldn't be able to serve.
So I have to give a shout out.
Now I feel bad. I came up with an on-the-spot list and I left off Barry.
Unless one of you want to do it, because I'm going to go by.
We're going to let Noah do it.
Let Noah do it.
At Cooley Foundation. Remember that
when we come
bring it up.
So you want
the J.C. Cooley Foundation thanks you in advance for your contribution.
Country Boy, City Boy, a journey that ain't over yet. The True Life Coming of Age story by James J.C. Cooley.
We'll just hit a lot of these, and we ain't gonna have that much time.
Bring it back.
So know if that's okay with you. Can you do that?
Yeah. Bring it back, and then give out the phone number, and I can do a 30-second mention of Barry, and then we'll toss it to Michelle, and she can.
Hey, Noah, also
courage and enlighten our next generation of leaders and heroes.
I don't know how we're gonna get all these in.
We're gonna try.
Amazon and everywhere books are sold.
We can also say that, someone we know won the Legacy Story contest.
Keep your time and money. Mike Keppel here, serial entrepreneur. I started my first business in the dingy basement of a factory in 1986.
I did, yeah.
Customers, my visitors were rats, birds, flies, and snakes. To psych myself up that I was going to succeed, I wore formal business attire and a tie to that lonely factory basement every day. I was a total type A business geek, crunching spreadsheets for my accounting. Today, my fifth successful business
30 seconds, guys.
Makes accounting simple for accountants and non-accountants alike.
Hear that?
For many of us business geeks to crunch spreadsheets or wear formal business attire ever again. Go to patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Come back.
The Answer San Diego. Streaming now on TuneIn.com and Odyssey.com.
It's time to dream big, think big, and be big. It's time for more It's Your Life. Now, here's your host, James Cooley.
Hello, welcome back to It's Your Life. I'm James Cooley, and I tell you, 2021, the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, has been so blessed. And to have so many absolutely fantastic guests that have been on the show, some of them repeatedly, and we'll be on the show in 2022. And I tell you, listen, audience, if you want to be part of this great conversation, that's 1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. Noah, you gave an all-star NBA, a Harlem Globetrotter list. I think it was one guy that we talked about during the break, that just listening to the show, and wow, he's just so wonderful because it brings joy to everybody that he is encountered with.
He brings joy to everybody that he encounters with. Why I didn't put him on the list? Because he makes everybody happy. And you know, if you're feeling bad, you get through a conversation with this guy, and I've done this numerous times, JC. I know you have as well. You cannot help but smile and to want to return the favor to other people. I am talking about the ambassador of joy. I call him 00 Joy. He's kind of a secret agent from Happiness and Joy. Barry Shore. You know, he helps people so often, JC, just keep joy in all times, including when you're talking about sadness and stress and going mad. And when I say about going mad, Barry, you know what I'm talking about. Making a difference and keep smiling and keep the smiling movement going. Barry, we love you.
Hey, well, why don't we, since Barry, listen, Barry, I'll tell you, I know you listen. I can see
Call in, Barry.
1-888-344-1170. Again, that's 1-888-344-1170. We miss you, the ambassador of joy.
And then we have a couple of guests who appear on the show in 2021. We have Jordan Colbert, who works at Yale University as the Associate Director of Assistive Technology. Jordan has been on our show multiple times, and one of the topics he was discussing was suicide, the pain in the public. And Jordan gave us in-depth analysis on, the causes of suicide in America, and also how the pain is not only towards the person, is also towards the community. We also have...
Well, hold on. Let's get Jordan Colbert, the recognition. Jordan is also the producer, Country Boy, City Boy, The Journey Ain't Over Yet. He's an author. He worked for USC. Now he's at Yale University, 29 years old. This guy has done it all. And if you ever had an opportunity to come across a person like this that went through trials and tribulation to move all the way to the top, there is nothing off limits for this young man. Jordan, I know you're watching. So proud of you, my friend. So proud of you.
And we also have on our show the CEO, Paul Downey, of Serving Seniors, a nonprofit organization in San Diego, California. Paul and Philanthropy Director Kimberly Jenks discuss how 25% of San Diego County's homeless population are over age 65. And one of the most common causes of senior homelessness were, for example, low income. And, their goal is to help the senior population as as far as homelessness, and we definitely want to give a shout out to them, and their nonprofit is doing so many great things. And also, we have Ann Quinn Young, who's the brand president at the Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation, and this foundation discussed the organization's mission to drive a cure for each and every multiple myeloma patient. And if any of you don't know, multiple myeloma is a cancer of the plasma cells. So we thank Ann and her foundation for everything they are doing. James, what else do you want to talk about?
You know, one of the things that I want to talk about is something that's very prevalent in our society today. We had Dr. Brady Allen, who came on and talked about the COVID infections, internal medicine, the vaccine variants, and masses. You know, I don't want to lose focus of that, because we're in a society right now where we need to be more focused on those types of things. And I'm never going to tell you on the James Cooley Show that you need to go out and get vaccinated, you need to do this, and you need to do that, because that's up to an individual, and I believe that's a choice thing. But I also want to let you know that this guy brought recognition, and he brought awareness to my show and to our listening audience of what that really means, and that we need to always be conscious of how to try to keep from getting this virus.
And we also had Dr. Russell Leibovitz. He's the CEO and co-founder of Amprion, and this company is developing breakthrough in neurodegenerative diseases, and he discussed Lewy body dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's, and the different symptoms about each of these neurodegenerative diseases. So this was definitely an education for the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life team. And we also had Dr. Thomas Carell, orthopedic surgeon. He discussed the typical injuries that he sees, and also seasonal injuries, mostly sports related, and how we as individuals can avoid some of these diseases and injuries.
Wow. Hey, Noah, it's one of the guys that was one of my favorites, and I believe that was one of yours as well. And can you tell our listeners a little bit about Rob Lucy?
Yeah, Rob's an amazing guy, you know, a journalist in his own right, and he really talks to people about how you can, something that we've always talked about that's important here on the show, JC, and that's cementing your legacy with your, you know, and it goes well beyond money and material things, with your family and passing that down the line. He helps people document that legacy on paper or on, you know, video, on audio, so many different ways that you can do it. And he's been a returning guest on my show, on this show as well. We have the Legacy Story Contest, and he makes a huge difference. I highly suggest people look him up if they want to perhaps figure out a way to build that legacy, to share it with their family for generations to come.
Not just that, but no, I want to mention this. You mentioned this absolutely fantastic school teacher that we had on the show. Her name is Cammie Qualls, that won the Legacy Contest. And I tell you, her writing was so exquisite and so eloquent in explaining her story. I believe that every one of us have a legacy story inside of us that we need to talk and tell about. Otherwise, it just get lost.
I agree. Maybe it's just that we don't know how to get it out, JC, and that's, you know, what Rob Lucy is so great at helping people to do.
Yes. And we also had certified fitness trainer Kathy Murray on our show, who discussed how physical fitness and good nutrition starts in your head. So we've had Kathy on the show a couple of times, but she also gave, you know, advice on, you know, portion size, you know, keeping in shape, and how physical fitness affects your mind and body. And we also had a childhood friend of James.
We had so hey Noah, and I know we sent you pictures. We sent you a lot of these things. I went back home.
Oh, you did.
To my high school buddy, childhood buddy, Larry Torrance. He's the owner of Uncle Larry's, and I tell you,
Uncle Larry, I'm telling you, I'm coming one day.
You got to, my friend, because
the food looked amazing.
And not just that, Noah, but the food is amazing, but he's also heavily, and he loved the Lord. And a lot of times things happen in our life that kind of make us sit back and wonder, and also get us back on track. So, Larry, I know that you're listening, and my friend, love you and your family. I will be back home real soon, and one day we're gonna get Noah Dingley there to eat some of your food. But
you will not have to twist my arm. Literally, just lead me. Whatever you need to do, I'm there.
Yeah, no, I think we're down to 2 minutes. I'm not sure, but
no, we got about 45 seconds.
45 seconds. But I just want to thank everybody that made the James Cooley Show possible in 2021. We are still coming your way again in 2022. I'd like to thank my great co-host Michelle Cooley, my great producer Noah Dingley, Steve, Kevin, everybody that gave us the opportunity to do this. Most importantly,
a great year ahead for us, JC.
Most importantly, I'd like to thank our listening audience for always tuning in to make sure that we bring you great radio, we bring you great information, and we're going to continue to do that. I wanted to reach out and say, hey, we're always looking for sponsors so we can continue to bring this great show to you, bring great guests to you. Tell you what, I wish everybody a 2021. Welcome to 2022. It's your life with James Cooley. We'll see you in 2022. Thank you.
That was a good show, man. Really hard to highlight everybody because then you think you got it and you remember somebody else.
Learn more about James, how you can.
And, wow. And I know that we missed out on a lot because me and Michelle had about 15 to 20 different things pulled up, but we were not going to be able to get to all of them. He was texting Michelle, letting us know that he was listening in. Hey, thank you so much, my friend. Happy 2021. Looking forward to. You got everything that we need for tomorrow and Monday. We good, man? I'll let you know tomorrow which days we're going to be in studio, but we're going to be in at least 2 days. It's either going to be Tuesday and Wednesday or Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, Tuesday and Wednesday, Tuesday and Thursday, or Wednesday, not Thursday, but Friday. And thank you, my great producer, and keep sending these people my way. I'm still waiting on whether Boba Fett is willing to come on the show. I didn't get that, but I'm watching. At least I'm looking at the movie stuff about Boba Fett the series, and I'm excited. So. Yeah, what I'm trying to say, no, he's not that guy, but he's been Boba Fett, and he understands the character, and he understands probably this series. Oh man, I listened to every single word, especially when he put the helmet on at the end. And that was cool, man. That was cool, man. The week of, not next week, because the week of the 10th, I think, or the 11th, beginning that Monday, I have not booked anybody yet for that week. Okay. Hey, really appreciate it. Love you, man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we. Okay. All right, man. Love you too.